Shirusha Demel, coming to you from Boston. About a week ago, few young people from Sri Lanka began a petition on Facebook asking all Sri Lankans to join to begin a movement to make Sri Lanka a safer place for all its citizens and to prevent hate speech and hate acts from taking away our civil liberties and national peace. This petition called upon the President Mahinda Rajapaksa to protect the liberties of Sri Lanka's minorities and to defend their interests against hate speech and hate acts committed by some extreme groups in Sri Lanka. This commendable initiative of few young people have drawn lots of attention, and so far close to 5,000 Sri Lankans from all over the world have signed the petition and to do their share to build peace and harmony in our wonderful country, Sri Lanka. The key people who began this petition joined with us to talk about their petition. They are Migara Tegal, Shafani Rafai, and Abdul Aziz. We know that there is some tension in Sri Lanka due to some extremist groups engaged in hateful speech and action. Tell us about your petition and why you thought to begin this petition.
Actually, as soon as I heard about this problem back home, I was obviously extremely bothered by it and actually even frightened because we've gone through this before. We had a war already, a civil war, which is similar to this communal tension. So there was a feeling of like having to do something, and I was really feeling very like me and several friends, we were very bothered by it, but we felt kind of helpless, and basically we were desperate to find some kind of method. What can we do? And it just like spontaneously we were all discussing possible options, and actually another friend of mine called Sanjaya, who is an independent freelancer, both of us actually were talking about starting this petition, and it's inspired actually by a letter that had already been written to the president by the Muslim Council of Sri Lanka. So it was inspired by that letter. We read that letter, which was publicly posted online and so on, and so we took inspiration from that and drafted this letter, and then it kind of evolved from there.
And a lot of people might tend to think that petitions are a little ineffective, especially when it comes to an online petition. But I think the most important thing concerning this petition, and actually any petition that we would do in this sort of context, is that we have to be aware that what is going on right now is actually sort of like a battle of ideas, right? The whole racist thing in Sri Lanka actually started on Facebook. It started by Facebook propaganda, all these Facebook profile pictures that were going around. So it was all these extremist ideas that were spreading through Facebook, and eventually this sort of bubbled over into the real life, and various organizations started popping up that were actually taking this agenda forward in actual real life. So this petition actually serves as a platform for people who have no way of voicing their unrest, and they are voicing their upset. I mean, they are showing how upset they are about what's going on right now. So we're trying to mobilize those people and trying to get them to take a stand against the re-emergence of violence in Sri Lanka. So that's, I think, one of the biggest motives of doing this petition.
Yeah, and also, I mean, besides the obvious appeal of like, trying to get the president in, it also, like, I think what we're trying to do is bring a lot of attention, like national and international attention to the problem. Like you said, it's garnering attention now because it's popular on Facebook. So that, that attention, that publicity might hopefully translate into pressure on the government to, protect its minorities, minority groups from hate acts and hate speech. Yeah, Meg was saying something.
Yeah, there's also a lot of misinformation I've noticed going around, even on Facebook and other social media websites. So I think with the petition, and we've got about more than 4,500 signatures. So with the petition and the Facebook page, we are trying to get the right information out there, so it's people will know what's exactly going on. Because I think there's a lot of presence. The groups, these racist groups, have a very strong presence online.
No, there's a urgent need to counter that presence online actually, and it's very encouraging to see not just our group but several other groups coming forward to take this forward, and all of them. Well, I think ours is pretty much the only petition that's running right now, but there are several groups that are trying to clear things up, trying to make people think by putting forward various arguments and so on and so forth. It was like a few months ago, you'd only see like extremist propaganda about this whole racial issue on Facebook, but now it's very encouraging to see a lot of countering ideas, trying to counter that whole wave of extremist ideas on Facebook. So hopefully we want to take this forward from Facebook, like the extremism spread from Facebook. We want this positive wave of ideas to bubble over from Facebook into the real world. So I think this petition sort of bridges that gap very beautifully, because this is actually taking a lot of ideas from the online world and trying to take it into real world action.
It's actually inspiring a lot of other things. Like some other friends were talking about turning it into commercial, advertising, and then making maybe independent films, moving this into other other mediums to get this message across. So it's evolving into bigger things, hopefully.
So now majority of people in Sri Lanka and abroad want peace and harmony in Sri Lanka and respect all ethnic groups. How is the response you are getting for your petition?
Yeah, we've got actually a good response from all the different communities. Actually, I think from what we've noticed, there are actually a lot of people who are against this state of violence, but they don't know exactly what they can do. A lot of them don't know what they can do. So this petition gives them that platform and gives them like a reason or something. They feel as if they're doing something.
Yeah, and there's an overwhelming number of supporters, like regardless of ethnic group or religion or anything. I mean, there's just a huge protest that is growing against these hate groups, and religion and ethnicity does not come into it at all. So it's really moving to see that.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that we've had a lot of support from all different sorts of ethnic groups, but so far from the number of actual petition signers we have gotten, we think there's like a huge untapped amount of people out there who haven't actually yet taken a stand with when it comes to this issue. And I think like a big problem is that apathy among people are still it's still quite prevalent, right? And people still tend to think that they are helpless, and them being themselves, just an individual, they can't really help or really contribute. So this leads to a bit of skepticism also when it comes to things like petitions. But the most important thing is that people have to start thinking that Sri Lanka, being a country that just came out of a long conflict, and if the older generation remembers how this conflict came about, they might actually connect it to the apathy of the silent majority that let this thing happen without actually stepping in and stopping it. And I think the problem is that people don't have faith in the fact that their collective voice can actually change things, and they have to have faith in the fact that an individual voice can actually contribute to the collective voice and then make it more powerful, and then in that sense contribute even more to change. So we do have a lot of support, and very encouragingly, it's not just from Muslims or Christians or other minorities. It's also an overwhelming amount of support from Sinhala Buddhists that are against hate in the country. But I still think, I don't know if you guys will agree, but I think there's still a huge untapped base of people out there who haven't signed this petition.
And definitely, and we are trying to move out into that. Right now we are discussing ways that we can take this project further and reach that untapped number of people who haven't really signed the online petition.
Another problem we've got, apart from apathy, is also like I've noticed that a few people are afraid to sign the petition as well, or do anything. In fact, they'd rather not. So it's not just apathy; it's fear as well. But yeah, hopefully we can, once we take it out there onto the streets and get physical signatures, maybe we can convince more people that by signing the petition they're actually helping.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's a lot of fear also because actually one of my friends, just to give you an example, messaged me right after I put up the petition on Facebook and told me that it was a great effort what I'm doing, but don't be angry because he can't sign the petition because once he put up a anti-hate status message on his Facebook and he actually got a call with a death threat the next day, and this is a guy who just got married and he's expecting a baby, so he was really afraid. So there's a lot of fear as well, a fear factor involved also.
In this petition, you make an appeal to the President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Have you reached out to leaders of Muslim Congress and other Muslim leaders in the government to stop this hateful speech and action?
No, this petition right now, currently as it is, it's an appeal to the masses, the people, the citizens of Sri Lanka, right? Because we are eventually going to take it to the policymakers and the people in power. But right now, in its current form, it's broadly a petition based at the average citizen. It's a platform for the average citizen to come up and take a stand. Of course, there is a lot of efforts going on in the public sphere that concerns when it comes to lobbying political leaders and all that stuff. But this petition right now, I would say this is right now targeted at basically the average person and not at policymakers at the moment. Of course, I don't know. Shifani?
Yeah, I think it is a process. Like right now, like you said, we are in that stage where we still need to get a loud voice. We need numbers of signatures. That is our main focus right now. And then the next stage, after we manage to get, we are aiming at 10,000 signatures right now, and we've got half that amount almost. And it's only been a week or so. And so the next stage would be to take it up to policymakers. We obviously have to, work out the nitty-gritties of, the next stage of where we take these signatures. Once we get these signatures, how do we get it across to actually implement it?
I think currently the framework is in place. We have a basic idea of what we want to do after we get the petition, but the biggest focus now is like building up that momentum and making this go viral and sort of really get a lot of responses, and that will just strengthen our case at the next stage. So a lot depends on how.
A friend of mine said that there is not enough. Like last time when there was this communal tension, there is not enough protest taking place by the masses. Like it was just the minority who was being attacked, which was protesting against it. So I think this time we are trying to, get the attention of these policymakers, making them see that it is not just a small minority which is protesting these actions, but it is a much larger, it's a majority that is protesting against it. Hopefully that makes a difference in terms of our appeal to the president.
Yeah, if one thing is certain on our petition as well, I've seen a lot of responses from the Buddhist community, in fact, speaking against the racial unrest. So you can see that there is actually, even the Buddhist community feels strongly about this and against it actually.
It is very commendable the efforts you are all taking on behalf of our beautiful country Sri Lanka, and we wish you all the best. We invite all Sri Lankans to join together to build peace and harmony among all people. If you wish, please take a look at this petition, and if possible, please add your name.